Hey everybody, hope you're all doing fine. You know, there's a couple of people I follow on YouTube, and they've done what's called Picanha Steak. It's a Brazilian steak, and they swear the flavor is amazing. So I went to the butcher block today, and I picked up a Picanha steak. So we're gonna trim it up, cut it into steaks. We're gonna dry age it in the refrigerator overnight, cook it, and see if it's as good as they say it is. Stick around, we're doing it next. All right, everybody, welcome back. Let's get started on this picanha steak. First thing we're going to do is cut off a little bit of the end here. What I understand, the end pieces are the least tender. So we'll get rid of that, and then we're going to square it off on the bottom and on the top. And you're going to leave that fat cap the way it is. They tell me that's where all the flavor comes from. So what we're going to do is cut these into about 1.5 to 2 inches, nice and thick steaks. Just like that. I'll do 1, 2, and 3. We're going to wind up with 3 steaks, but we're only going to cook 2 for the show today. What I decided to do with the other steak and the rest of that meat is I'm going to save that, and we're going to grind it and make picanha burgers for another show. See how that turns out. So we've got all our steaks cut. We're going to pick out the 2 that we want for to cook today. We're going to put those on a cookie sheet with the rack, and we're going to salt all sides to help dry age this overnight in the refrigerator. If you don't want to do it overnight, that's fine, but do it at least 4 to 5 hours. You really want that salt to totally be gone when you're ready to start cooking it and take all the moisture out of that steak. It's the best way to do it. So we're going to cover all sides, pop this in the refrigerator, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Well, the next day's here. I've got some peppers and onions I'm going to cook alongside with the steak. So the way I like to cut my peppers is go right down the sides, keeping all the seeds intact. That way none of the seeds come out. And then we're just going to cut these lengthways, about 3 per slice. Just like that. And if you can remember, please like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment if you can, it really helps. I appreciate y'all watching and checking in weekly. So we got the first one cut up. We'll do another one. Side, side. And look how beautiful that is. No seeds at all. So once we get these cut up, we're going to put these into a bowl. And then we're going to cut up 2 onions as well. I've got a couple of white onions that I picked up today. Cut the ends off. Put a slit down the side to get that first peel off. And we're just going to cut these into quarters. Just like that. And don't worry, they'll separate the rest of the way once we start cooking them up. And we'll put those in the bowl as well. And now we're going to take our steaks out, let them get to room temperature, and then top them off with a little bit of fresh ground black pepper. Now I've got my frying pan with the little ghee, which is clarified butter. If you don't have that, you can use avocado oil. Got the temp up to about 350. And we're going to set these in there, fat cap down first. You want to render some of that fat down from that fat cap. So we'll pop those in there for a couple of minutes like that. And then we're going to roll them onto their side. to get a nice crust started on one side. And we'll let that go for about 4 or 5 minutes or until we get a nice crust that develops. Then we'll get another frying pan out with some more ghee. Get that temperature up, and we're going to put all our veggies, our peppers and onions, in there. And right away I realize I have too small of a pan, so I'm going to transfer this to a larger pan. Because if I don't, I'm going to have peppers and onions all over my stove. I also hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. Now it's time to flip our steak over. The oven's preheated to 450 degrees. And that's what you're looking for right there. Look at that beautiful crust on that steak. So we're going to pop these in the oven at 450 for about 6 to 8 minutes until we get an internal temperature of 130 degrees. If you like your steak done more, keep it in there a little bit longer. Now we'll take it out, put it on the wire rack, and let it rest for a good 6 to 8 minutes. And while that's resting, we're going to finish up with our peppers and onions. Don't those look beautiful? And they were delicious, let me tell you. Picanha steak, if you get a chance, you got to make it. And our peppers and onions are just about done. I put just a little bit of that ancho chili crisp in there to season it up just a little bit. But we got a nice side dish there with the peppers and onions to go with those steaks. We'll plate it up, eat, and we'll see you on the next one.